Hey Samantha, let's take a look at this one. First, I always like to kind of draw a bit of a diagram. So let's pretend this is the Statue of Liberty right here. All right, now the Statue of Liberty we know is about 305 feet. That's what they're telling us. So from here to here, 305 feet. If the angle of elevation of a ship to the top of the statue is 23.3 degrees. So what that means is if we're down here, here's our ship. There's our ship right there. So the angle of elevation is right there. That's the angle of elevation. And we know that angle in there, theta, is 23.3 degrees. Okay? So what we're asked to find is how far away is it? So what's that distance, right? So basically, if we think about this as a trig function kind of thing, we have to find the adjacent side, right? Now we don't know the hypotenuse. We have no idea. We don't really need to know that, but we do know the opposite side. So let's use tangent, right? The tangent of theta, in general terms, remember that equals the opposite over the adjacent, right? The adjacent. Now, the only difference here is we know what theta is. So really what we're asked to find here, and I'll just erase this and put it in. Really what we're saying is the tan of 23.3 degrees, and make sure your calculator's in degree mode, buddy. That might be another reason why you're not getting the right answer. The opposite side we know is 305, so I'll just sub that in. And we'll do a bit of algebra and we'll find our adjacent side. So let me just erase all my mess here. I need the room desperately. Yeah, make sure your calculator's in degree mode. The standard, the default for most calculators is radian mode, but here we're working in degrees, not radians, so we have to make sure our calculator is in degree mode. That might be the short answer to your problem there anyway. So, algebra time. Basically, if I multiply both sides by the adjacent, I would get the adjacent times the tan 23.3, and that's going to equal just 305. 305, run out of room, and then I'll divide both sides by tan 23.3. So the adjacent is going to equal 305 divided by the tangent of 23.3 degrees. So a couple of things here. We're going to have to calculator this for sure. Keep in mind, calculators are pretty dumb about stuff like this, so don't really like blast all of this in your calculator. You could use Desmos, which is nice. I'm going to use a TI-83, like a little ROM of it, which is pretty good too. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compute. First of all, I'm going to go to mode, and look, right here I'm in radian mode. So I got to get over here to degree mode before I do any of this, otherwise it's going to be wrong. Now I'm going to compute the tangent of 23.3 degrees. Okay? And then quite separately, so that's, you know, a crazy decimal that goes forever. Now I'm going to say 305 divided by my answer. And most calculators have an answer function here, second function. This button gives me the answer. So it kind of like copies and pastes in my previous answer. Don't round because that could throw you off. Try to round as little as possible. Keep it all in the calculator if you can. And lo and behold, buddy, we get 708. Now again, if I go back to mode, and when I put this thing back into radian mode, and I just go second function entry, so I'm just going to like paste in my last little computation there, you can see how we get that craziness there, right? So totally different thing. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode, but I think that should help you. Hope it does. Let me know if it doesn't.